Good evening, folks. Dr. Freedom here with you. Times for Doctor News from in and around the universe that may or may not make you get excited, invited, hey, sold to America. Now, did that make any sense? No. But neither does the fact there are people out there calling themselves Whovians who berate and belittle the show on a daily basis. It just amazes the crap out of me. Yes, apparently, a cabal have gotten together. Someone was passing around an image of this particular podcast. And it's funny how you notice all of them are white males, which, kind of disturbs me and makes me wonder just what the true motive for all the hate is. And I don't like to point the finger and say the word misogynist, but it's funny how the complaining began with a lot of these other channels the second Jodie Whittaker was announced. It was months before the first episode would even be filmed. And yet, it's going to be crap. And and then they've been humming that same tune now for so long. It's just depressing. They're like that guy in the, I don't want to make people sound, bad about insane asylums or anything like that, but they're those guys in the back of the insane asylum that have been humming the same thing to an imaginary friend for going on 20 years. And nothing will cure it. It's just amazing, blows my mind. They had this big thing where we're all getting together, and I'm like, my goodness, how can you call yourselves fans of a show when all you do is berate, belittle it, and jump all over it all day long for months, even when the thing's not on the air? But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the fact that, they did drop the trailer. It has now been revealed that, yes, definitely, it's going to be New Year's Day. But let's go ahead. Let's get to the breakdowns of it. Let's see what you think of it. Here we go. Okay, right off the bat over here on Cult Box, we have Revolution of the Daleks casting news and trailer breakdown. Now, the trailer, of course, dropped yesterday. And some really interesting stuff. It's now confirmed, Chris Noth is reprising his role as Jack Robertson from Arachnids in the UK. And like I said, I don't want to sound mean, but Arachnids in the UK to me was not one of the stronger episodes of Doctor Who. It wasn't Fear Her bad. It definitely wasn't Love and Monsters bad, but it's somewhere in that spectrum. Now, don't even get me started. But it just upset me. Don't shoot the spider because that would be inhumane. But my original plan was to lock them up in a room and let them suffocate to death. It's kind of like there was no exit strategy there together, kind of like Bush in the Gulf. It was no way to get out of it. But all right. And I went political. Oh, okay. Okay, here's Noth pictured in a promotional image with fellow Revolution Daleks co-star Nathan Stewart Jarrett, whose character name in the special has not yet been announced. Here is Dame Harriet Walters in the scene depicting the role of the British Prime Minister out in front of 10 Downing Street, and now we'll see these new defense drones at work, as she says, which means, for you folks who are speculating that this is why Jack Robertson was brought back, good on you. That was a good call. I never thought, even, mankind would be dumb enough to try to recreate the Dalek design because you're drawing attention to yourselves, people. But also, here's what makes me laugh. All those jerk-offs who've been sitting here for weeks going on and on and on. I don't like the new design of the Daleks. Technically, they're not really Daleks either. Oh, sorry. I got a little... Sorry, I had to do that again. All right, hang on. I'm trying to find my disable laughter button. Okay, 3 guest stars are even peering, well, this is the thing of the 3 guest stars peering into the photo. Boom, boom, boom. Ain't that cool? Because they're looking into the bowels of the Dalek here. And take a good look at these two, because guess what? They're gone. At least that's what I keep hearing, that the Ryan and Graham will depart at the end of Revolution. Your New Year's Revolution. Okay. That's kind of scary. In a subsequent cut shared later in the trailer, Robertson says, "Not you guys. These machines are going to change the world." Yeah, they are, because they're going to take it over, you weirdo. All right, so showrunner Chris Chibnall praised the cast, said, quote, "We've crammed this year's Doctor Who Festive special with an explosion of extraordinary acting talent. Who else would you get, British acting royalty? a globally renowned U.S. screen star, and an international treasure of stage and screen, and one of Britain's hottest young actors, just in on the guest cast. Put those together, Jodie Whittaker, oh God, I almost said Brandon McGill. Oh my God. He is losing it. Hey, where's that button? Okay, Jodie Whittaker, Bradley Walsh, Mandip Gill, and Tosin Cole. And you get a cast to be exterminated for, and things will explode, I promise. Now, it will definitely be explosive. Some scenes in the trailer, of course, showed Daleks and their spaceships attacking pedestrians. So it's kind of pretty much a given that the real Daleks are going to show up. Because, sure, you can copy this design, make these funky drones, but that it looks like a genuine Dalek saucer showing up. And, of course, one of the big lines that stirs you up during this particular trailer is Jack Harkness saying how many people in the universe get to meet the Doctor, let alone travel with her. Being with the Doctor, you don't get to choose when it stops, whether you leave her or she leaves you. Which is an interesting line to head off with, isn't it? According to the official description of the special, Captain Jack helps Graham, Yaz, and Ryan as they attempt to thwart a plan which involves a Dalek, and apparently Robertson and the Prime Minister are also involved. But like I said, sooner or later, I guess they are going to interact together, him and the Doctor. I'm really hoping they don't pull another cop-out on that, because that was kind of a cop-out to me, in this last appearance, Fugitive of the Jadoon. But I can see why they kind of did that. It completely kept his appearance a secret, because since he filmed all his stuff over in Bristol, while everybody was sitting there focusing on the Daleks on the bridge, on the cliff, oh God, I'm losing my brain. On the suspension bridge, they were over there at the cathedral filming his stuff. So that's how they were able to slip him in and out. It was a brilliant ploy. You gotta love it. Okay, their plans seem to involve a TARDIS, the one they used to travel back to Earth in the Timeless Children. Now it's disguised as a home in the housing estate. And this is Yaz doing her police CSI thing here. Look at her. And apparently they're trying to figure out the controls, as you can see here. At least that's my theory for why you would have little sticky notes all over the TARDIS console. And why not? Clara somehow learned how to fly one in 5 minutes. Oh, sorry. I had an anti-Moffat moment there. Okay, the exact moment of Captain Jack's appearance to the three friends is likely depicted in this promotional photo below, which takes place at Graham's house. Lots of good photos here. Be sure to... Oh, look at this. Somebody's making real Daleks. Now, how the heck are they doing that? Why? Look, I'm going to get you. And, of course, meanwhile, the Doctor is ticking off time in the Shada redemption there. Well, Shawshank just didn't seem appropriate. All right. So... there's no hint in the trailer of how the Doctor manages to escape, but at the end of the trailer, she is heard saying to herself, "Stay strong. People are waiting for you." So this one's written by Chibnall, directed by Lee Haven Jones, and will air, of course, on New Year's Day, and it is 70 minutes long. Oh yes. And here's one that's really going to tick those guys off out there that are kind of like, slanting the other way from the rest of the fandom, and yet declaring all the fandom is with them. I hate generalizations. I really do. Jodie Whittaker speaks out on her Doctor Who future as she films her third series. And all right, here we go. Let's just get right to it. She revealed that she has no plans to enter Doctor Who tenure anytime soon, claiming that, quote, she hasn't even looked at another role since she started playing the iconic character. And this is what here's the interview with the Telegraph if you want to go check it out. To even question an endpoint of Doctor Who would be too upsetting, she said, before explaining how her expectations of the part had already been surpassed. She goes, I had this idea that fame from Doctor Who would be like Notting Hill image of, Rhys Ifans or whatever when he opens up the door to a horde of paparazzi in front of his door. And it isn't. She goes, if you bump into a Whovian, it genuinely makes both of your days. There's emotional, poetic, and a very humbling about being, something, oh God, I screwed that up. There's something emotional, poetic, and very humbling about being in the show because you're a tiny little jigsaw piece of something that is so precious to so many people, except a few who hate on it. Wait, oh, sorry, I added that last bit. Okay, I'm sorry. I did, I couldn't help myself. Okay, now let's get to this bit here. Coming soon, Pin Badge Edition, Revolution of the Daleks. I threw this up, maybe if you'd be interested. I don't know. It's kind of like, it looks like they're going to sell some pin badges that are going to be, about this particular thing over in Hero Collector. by Eagle Moss. Check it out. I'll leave it for you so you can go look at this if you want. Okay, Doctor Who boss says the new look Daleks will not be replacing the older models. We already knew that, and that's why I was still trying to figure out why people are having a cow. When you saw the images on the suspension bridge, the Clinton suspension bridge over in Bristol, there were gold Daleks there. These guys right here that are being built based off the Recon Dalek model or whatever are never going to be accepted into the main horde. Especially if you follow the traditional Dalek rules. Because technically, they're not Dalek. You have to be pure, blah, 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 whatever to be a Dalek. These guys will never be accepted, these Earthbound ones. It's kind of like a story that was done before. Oh, heck, I'm having a brain fart. It was the one with, it was an audio play, Big Finish, Paul McGann. It was on the planet Red Rocket Rising. And how can you forget a planet name like that? Where somebody was trying to make their own Daleks and all, and it didn't work out either. So, if you're, it's like 8th Doctor Adventures, like I said, it'll hit me in a half hour. It's not even important. All right, Jodie Whittaker will face more classic monsters in Series 13. And it goes, there's one thing, Doctor, we love the return of classic monsters. And Chibnall, of course, said, yes, more monsters are coming back that he told in the new preview issue of the Radio Times. There are ones who've appeared over the past 15 years that are deserving another visit in the series. In fact, they're probably formulating their own plans as we speak. So, nice to hear that, and once again, Mecha Dalek there is not an actual Dalek. All right, so Jack is back, confirmed. Episode 70 minutes, New Year's Day. I know a lot of you were out there hoping that it was going to be Christmas Day. They were going to somehow go back to Christmas. But as I said before, I know why they got away from Christmas. Even though it was a tradition, we all loved it. Doctor Who was getting killed on Christmas. Everybody was so busy off watching other things. Some people, even though the most of us here were like, we love seeing it every year. Maybe they did it as a ratings move. Maybe because they wanted more, something good on New Year's Day as well. But I had an eerie feeling they weren't going back to Christmas Day, and sadly I was proven correct. Well, I'm getting on out of here, folks. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Remember, there's still a pandemic on. People are still out there getting the coronavirus. Please wear your mask, wash your hands, do the social distancing thing. And like I said, I'm lucky on the line I work on right now. Most of the time, the nearest person to me is like 20 to 30 feet away, literally. So take care of yourselves once again. Have a good night. And we'll be looking forward to the revolution.